Hey, boys and girls, it's Mr. Bloom. I want to give you some tips of how to use today's Gizmo so you're successful with the activity. You're going to have to gather some data today, and the data is going to be the mass of objects and the weight of objects. And you're going to have to figure out what these objects are mass wise and weight wise on the Earth, the Moon, Mars, and Jupiter. So if you notice at the top, there's this drop down menu to change your location. You also have a clear scales button. So first of all, the tool on the left, I'm going to circle it. This is a balance, and it's used to measure mass. Okay, so that's a mass measuring tool on the left. It's called a balance. And on the right, this is a scale that's used to measure weight. Okay, so we have these two words, mass and weight, that mean different things. Now, there's a bunch of objects you can measure. We're going to start as an example with the baseball. So let's say we want to find the mass of the baseball. If we're looking for the mass, we would use the balance. You can put the baseball on either side of the balance. It doesn't matter. Let's say we put it here. And you'll notice as my hands are showing, it tips the balance. So it's no longer balanced. Balance is when they're kind of, the two sides are equal, okay, height-wise. Right now, the left side is further down. So we need to put some, objects on the right side to kind of make it so it's balanced again. So you'll have to kind of troubleshoot. If I take this 5 kilogram, that's too much. So I got to get rid of that. I could try a 1 kilogram, still too much. I could try a 500 gram, still too much. Let me try 100. Oh, we're making some progress. Maybe try another 100. Too much. So take one away. Try a 50 gram. Oh, perfect. So now we see, if we click on the middle of the balance, it'll either take away or add our numbers. See how they're going back and forth? We want to keep that on. We'll notice that the baseball is 150 grams because it's equal on both sides and the balance is balanced. So it's 150 on each side. So on our activity sheet, it says mass on Earth, baseball, we would fill in 150. It also is going to ask us for the mass of the baseball on the Moon, on Mars, and on Jupiter. So if we go back to the Gizmo, we can change the location to find our mass on those objects as well. Okay, so that's how you find the mass. And you're going to have to find the mass of the small dog, the watermelon, the pumpkin, the flower pot. So you now know how to do that using the Gizmo. So the other thing you can find is the weight of the baseball. If I put the baseball on the scale, it shows that it's 1.5 newtons. We use newtons to measure weight. I forgot to mention for mass, we use grams and kilograms. So on our data sheet, if I go down to the second part, it's asking for the weight of the baseball, and I filled in 1.5 newtons for the weight. So notice in the table, I have newtons, the n's already filled in for you. And up here, I already have the grams filled in for you as well. So you'll have to work on finding the mass and the weight of those objects. So again, you got your balance on the left, your scale on the right, the objects at the bottom. You can change your location at the top, and you're going to work on completing the Gizmo number 5, mass versus weight activity sheet using the Gizmo. All right, I don't think I left anything out there. I think pretty much I explained all the tips that you can use. Keep in mind, your mass does not change depending on where you are. Your weight, however, is a different story. It could change depending on your location. So hopefully this activity helps to prove that with some evidence.